What is going on, all you L words? It's a Beardius Gaming coming at you with an unknown, a mysterious caller. Changes his name every time he calls in because he's a douchebag. Where we had last left off, we were
I
we
don't
were
change my name.
we were probably throwing out the most um, probably the hottest question,
More ways than
at least
one.
this week. It is. And we
If
we
I'm
want
not
to see some
mistaken,
votes out
where
there.
we left off, you were comparing Joan of Arc to a Bud Light bikini girl.
I wasn't even comparing her to that. That would be
hmm
like four steps up. I'm comparing her
So what would
to
she be? What's
a
her equivalent today?
maybe a ring girl,
No, what
if
would?
not
Yeah, what did France
a
see her
ring
as? A
girl
ring
at
girl?
a
No, no,
Holyfield,
no.
Holyfield,
Maybe a
a
Victoria's
Tyson
Secret
fight,
model.
Victoria's Secret model, or a dirty stripper. Not really sure which.
Yeah, no, maybe
Um,
she's more of like a Britney Spears type because she was an idol to these people.
all right. Well, if we're going
Or
with idol, I mean, why don't we
Miley
just say
Cyrus.
porn stars?
I don't know what the equivalent would even be today. She wasn't an entertainer necessarily. She was an inspiring figure. So
Right.
it's fitting that she still inspires people today. You know, same with Boudica, same with the Amazons. The fact that they're
What
inspirational
about
today
Christina
are
Hendricks?
from Species.
No, from
I bet she's
Mad Men.
Canadian. She's still hot today. She holds up.
Mad Men.
Oh, no, no. Who? Oh, I'm thinking of Natasha Henstridge. Yeah, Katrina
Yeah.
Henstridge. I don't know. Let's not get off topic here. It's. I'm trying to say it's fitting that she's a what the fuck's I saying? That she's people. I don't have a problem with people being inspired by these figures today because that's what they were then. They were sources of inspiration. The Amazons were the cover of a Wheaties box. Um, Joan of Arc was a T-shirt cannon girl, basically at a sporting event. Um, I,
Yeah, but Dean,
something
you're getting
bigger than
off
that.
topic.
Boudica, same thing.
Is
But
Joan
but
of Arc a titty tassel girl or thong woman?
well, you know what? She actually, I read someplace that she tied herself up in prison with thongs, meaning strips of rope and shit and
Right.
cloth to keep the guards from raping her. She basically just tied a bunch of rope around herself and tied a bunch of knots into it. Could be apocryphal. I have no idea. The French sure do like being tied up, and there's stories about it, and their bondage, the man in the iron mask, etc. I don't think I need to go into it, but
Right.
and the Marquis de Sade, especially, right? And who's that other debauching motherfucker? Ben Franklin. He came to French because he liked how they got down. He came to France rather because he liked how they got down. Um, but here's my gripe: is the source of inspiration fine, but take some time to learn the facts and don't go propagating mythology. I mean, don't go propagating or misreporting fact. Acknowledging, liking, enjoying a myth, but recognizing its mythology, recognizing its roots, that's fine. Um, you do you, but let's not alter the past to suit the taste of the future.
Wow, that's a very deep.
And here's the other sort of painful thing. People like to pick out these examples. I think there's a Turkish princess too who wound up rising up through the ranks in the Ottoman Empire. Anyway, people like to pick these examples, these isolated examples from history, these exceptions to the rule, these outliers, these like Forrest Gump, rare roll of the dice freaks, just that happen to fall into these incredible circumstances, like Captain Kirk or Forrest. Um, when really women in the past had such an underrated role just en masse because women were alive. Like historical records show women, there were more of them, and they lived way longer than men. Um, a lot of people like to think that childbirth was a problem and illness was a problem, but it's a biological fact that uh, it's a whole other topic, really, that I could get into about how we've evolved. We've um, anyway, getting off topic. Um,
Right. Reel it
but
in.
women played a huge role in the past in that they were alive. They made up the whole social tapestry. They were sl- they made the slow fundamental changes um, that that is the root of why we're here today, why we have the society we have today, is because women were playing the long con game from ancient history. They were saying, "Hey, yeah, guys, go out, get killed, go to these battles. I'll stay home, right? I'll make babies," and so they stayed alive, and they, in many ways, influenced the way society is today. And the women's role just always was very, very strong throughout history. They weren't on the battlefield, but that doesn't mean didn't have an incredibly strong presence. I mean, there's stories of evidence and histories there where even the kings needed their wives' permission to wasn't it in the Odyssey where Agamemnon or some shit was gonna get a bunch of cloth or something, and he needed the wife's key to go get and her permission to get out the jewels and the cloth, the valuables from the house to give as a gift. Anyway, there's a lot of different examples, but it's this understated role that people don't talk about is where women thrived. And I mean, history wants to write about the big battles, the flashy stuff, the inventions and things like that. And that's fine. I mean, even if women wrote the histories, they probably talk about the same things. But I'm cooked.
Yes. You're
And
cooked.
but
If you're cooked, you can't end it on that note. You can't give into it. What kind of ending is that to this debaucherous, this heretical? I mean, if anybody, if any halfway self-respecting feminist heard this, they would be coming at you.
no, I've done a terrible job with this. Um, trying to bring it back
How are you going
around.
to end it?
But
How are you going to stick by your guns and give them a proverbial and literal big old middle finger?
so focusing on women is in the past, historical females as warriors, it's really missing the point. And it shows it's really missing the point of history too, and how it's the little things that really made us and brought us where we are today. And it's sending the message to women, to everyone, that just it, that there's something bad about staying home and making babies, when the fact that women decided to stay home and make babies is the reason why we're all here, right? So we should celebrate that. We should embrace that the role of women have historically had, instead of trying to make up some facts to fit how this Rosie the Riveter image that we have impressed in our mind today.
And to close it up, do you feel, now that being said, do you feel that women should be barred from the armed forces?
No, I don't think they should be barred, but I think they should have their own discrete units. I don't think we should have, and I don't think they should be in the combat field, especially. But if they want to have their own combat unit, go for it. But I think they should have their own. The, the problem with mixed regiments, and I don't know my fucking militarical terms here, but is that these co-ed units, is that the Army's all about standardization in so many things, and that females and men are just too different to have a standardized division. And if you really want them to be effective fighters, you want people of relatively equal body mass. That's why we have basic training. That's why we have boot camp. And I think an all-female fighting contingent or an all-male fighting contingent would be far more effective than a co-ed contingent, just for purely pragmatic and practical reasons.
Logistical reasons.
Logistics. Utilitarian ends.
You're just grounded in reality with this
Yeah.
perception.
Frankly, I think
No
women are making
no
themselves
bias.
unhappy by
Trying to
feeling that
be
they need to
somebody
go
that they're
fight
not.
in combat. Let's synchronize it so we interrupt each other every time, all the way till the end.
Are you being?
Yeah.
Are you getting fresh? Are you getting fresh?
Anyway,
All right.
before I stick
So
my finger
that
down your
being
throat,
said, obviously a Ramalama Jing Jong has hit his quota of. I don't know if he's drinking some brown, or if he's just getting into his second keg here, but shit has gone south. It's a hot one.
got a pony keg of rye.
I don't know what is going on with the rest of the world out there, but it is hot and heat, brown, any sort of liquor, and the Ramajama Ling Dong is a lethal combination. Thank you again for joining us. There we have it. Women, there's our contingent on Joan of Arc. Where we'll pick up next time. Who the fuck knows? Peace.